I date a lot of men, you know what I mean? It's disgusting, it's a red flag. But, you date men as a woman, your female friends are so supportive. They're too supportive, right? God forbid a guy breaks up with you, your female friends are just gonna be like, oh, he was intimidated by you. He wasn't good enough for you. I'm like, really? He was a pediatrician who meditated. You know what I mean? Like, that's objectively good. And I was stealing from him. You know what I mean? Like, and then your female friends are like, oh my God, stop right there. You were so brave to steal from him, like, and I'm like, yeah, but I hooked up with his friend, and your friend is like, oh my God, if he can't handle you at your worst, then he doesn't deserve you at your best. That phrase is so up. The real phrase, it should be, if you can't handle me at my worst, congrats, you dodged a bullet. You know what I mean? Like, you deserve better. Keep running.
Well, at least there's some accountability going on here.
Never let a purchased her shape make you feel bad about yours. I said what I said.
Okay, I was out of the dating scene for quite a few years, and now that I'm back in it, I have some observations that I need to explain. I don't think the dating scene sucks, okay? I think it's just different. Number one, millennial men have given up on dating. I literally think that's why older women are going for younger men, because millennial men just don't care anymore. I think they've just have thrown in the towel, because I think girls are really mean, and it brings me to my next point. Like, the girls are so mean to them, but then they want a man at the same time. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, it doesn't make sense. That was my second point, is that women hate men more than ever, especially millennial men. I don't know Gen Z women. Okay, I'm not friends with them. They don't want to be friends with me. They hate men more than ever, but they still want a man. Okay. And then my third point, I don't know what happened, but now nobody posts their significant other. So if you think that you're gonna like creep on a man to find out if they're single or not, like if you see them at a stoplight, okay, not really, but if you think you're gonna creep on a man on Instagram, their girlfriend, fiance, wife is nowhere to be found. Like, it is, I don't get it. When did it become so uncool or like weird to not post your significant other?
Man said a wise man learns from their mistakes, and even wiser man learns from the mistakes of others. Facts. A dude said, I got passed over for a guy that ended up putting his hands on his women twice, 2 different occasions, 2 different women. They call me brokey because I build pools. So yeah, this isn't counting the ones who literally said, ew, no, to my face.
I don't do coffee dates because from a very young age, my dad told me that I am a Ferrari and not everybody can afford a Ferrari. Not everybody wants something high maintenance. Not everybody wants to put in the time and the energy to maintain it. And so if you want a Ferrari, then you have to do better than a coffee date because you're not buying a Honda.
Well, I think the thing is, when everybody claims to be a Ferrari, then automatically you know that somebody somewhere is lying. And even though it looks like a Ferrari, it's a knockoff. Who knows what it could be? It could be somebody that tried to paint their car as a Ferrari. But when you find out, then they're actually like a Yaris. So that's what we're dealing with right now. You have to actually make it to where you don't just say I'm a Ferrari. You have to actually be a Ferrari. Which leads me to my next point. How do you differentiate yourself as a Ferrari? Which brings me to my next question. What exactly do you bring to the table?
Here we go again. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. I've never heard that one before. Definitely have not heard that one 10, 15, 23 times on this page. Almost every day. I get that comment. So I know you can do better than that. I know you've got something a little more original, a little funnier. Come again. That one's overplayed. Valiant effort, though.
A dude in the comments said, okay, but are they incorrect? or are they on the money?
If women are such good mothers and the better option over the father that they didn't allow the child to see, why do a lot of us grow up with childhood trauma?
Not in it for the money, just the love of the game.
What we gotta do for 10K?
I would let that man watch me someone else. I actually used to.
Come on, say it. Just say it.
Just
say it.
No.
Just say it. Come on.
So I used to be and the person that I did that for wanted to see it.
Explain what.
I would beat the out of him and humiliate him for money.
And he would like that?
Yeah, he liked it.
How much he paid for you?
So it was about $100 an hour, and if it like went over that, then you had to add like 80 plus to it, like per
interest.
Yeah.
What's the extremist thing you ever did to him?
I him. I don't think I liked it.
Oh my goodness.
All of his accounts.
He literally just posts pictures of his dog.
I don't care, block him. I know his intentions he has with you.
Like,
you don't understand how guys' brains work. And he's not just a friend, he likes you.
No, he doesn't.
And you don't need to explain it to him. You don't need to open up the door for conversations.
His accounts, like you don't have to block his Finsta. He never even checks that one.
I don't care, block it. He shouldn't be contacting
know this is
me.
because of you.
I don't care.
Because he knows I wouldn't do this. He's gonna think you took my phone and did this.
Block him.
I'm just looking at his page, like a list.
I know how guys' brains work.
I'm just looking at his page.
So something that I've been noticing is that in my city, there's a lot of very vocal, very loud, white liberal men. And you'll hear them talk all the time about women's equality and you know, gender equality and LGBTQ and all of these things. And they're constantly like very vocal advocates for this. More often than not, you're going to hear them say, oh yeah, I'm looking for my best friend. I'm looking for a 50-50 relationship. I want an equal partner. None of those things are inherently bad, but oftentimes it means that they are not wanting to add to your life. Stay with me. What it really means to them, what 50-50 means to them, is like splitting life 50-50. Doing life 50-50, sharing the load 50-50. But what they fail to recognize, even though they understand logically that they have a lot of privilege and we live in a world where I have less privilege, they don't think that it's actually 30-70. They think that 50-50 will get them an equal partner, but really what they're going to have to do is come alongside of me, especially as a woman of color. You're going to have to come alongside me and make sure I can get that 20%. So what does that look like? I think it depends on every couple, but like it's not a 50-50 out the gate. It's a 70-30. How are we going to like resolve this? And I don't think a lot of white liberal men are ready to talk about it. If he does not understand that we are automatically not 50-50, he is going to run with it. And eventually, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years down the road, you're going to be pulling most of the weight for him. Because if he doesn't understand fundamentally that we're not starting at the same starting point, then it's going to be rough.
You know, with the way that you talk, men need to split it 50-50. They need to. You need to compensate me. If you're going to be talking like this the whole entire relationship, you need to compensate me for listening to this foolishness.
You're my homeboy, but you're still a man, so there are things that I expect from you even though we're not in a romantic relationship. Let's get to it. Number one, if you are in the car with me while I'm getting gas, you are pumping my gas. I don't know why that one's controversial. Pump this gas. I also expect you to put me on the correct side of the sidewalk. Do you want me to die or not? Exactly! Number three, you are the DDH, designated door holder. Why would I be opening the door? You are a man. I don't expect you to cover anything financially, and I don't expect you to carry my bags if we go shopping, although that one pains me and it took a lot of growth. I don't love to carry a bag in the store. God, that one really hurts though. I feel like there's more and I can give you more if you're really that interested.
You must be joking. This, see what I mean? That's what they think that they gonna get from a man that they not giving nothing to.
I keep seeing all these things where it's like free the nip, no bras, like don't wear bras anymore, they're so bad. Like, bruh, double D's. My nip is to my belly button. Nobody wants to see these grandma sagging. I am 19, but that doesn't mean my boobs sag. I shop at the same bra place my grandma does because my boobs are too big to fit into Victoria's Secret. So I wear the same exact bras as my grandma. In fact, I just went school clothes shopping, picked out a bra from this bra store, and my grandma goes, I have the same one, same color, blah, 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 blah. And I got measured same size as my grandma.
And I'm sure men are like, what's the problem here?
See, it's comments like this that make me kind of feel like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, why do y'all all say that marriage is slavery? Women nowadays, that's all y'all say. It's slavery. Or he's a narcissist. He's gaslighting. Once women learn a new word, they just use it for everything. Because y'all can't all walk around saying that it's slavery. Because you have to cook no matter what. You have to clean no matter what. You gotta pay bills no matter what, baby girl. I don't understand how providing basic human needs is slavery. What, you want a butler to do all this? I'm not, even then, you'd probably have to marry a rich man to get the butler. I don't know what the f is going on. But it's giving very much like I want a city girl summer for the rest of my life. I don't want responsibility. I don't want accountability. Because again, you have to do those things no matter what. And if you see a man with those qualities of he's abusive, he's a narcissist, he's hitting you, he's just not a good person, probably don't have sex with him. Probably don't get pregnant by him, and probably don't marry him. Set yourself up for a successful marriage. How about that?
Whoever is the girl that said, I don't need a man to buy me flowers, but I wouldn't date a man who doesn't. I don't need a man to provide for me, but I wouldn't date a man who doesn't. I don't need a man to open my doors, but I wouldn't date a man who doesn't. You've changed my perspective, so thank you.
You guys, for some reason, think it's some sort of, I don't know, skill to sit up here and come up with these tongue twisters and these mind games. And so a man would just say, out.
Good morning, world. I was with a man until 4 a.m. last night and he didn't even kiss me. Go off, I guess. Maybe gentlemen do still exist. Because I'm kind of almost like, what the fuck? I have kissed him before, so I don't know why he wouldn't kiss me again, unless he just hates me. He walked me to my door one time after dropping me off. And he literally kissed me on my front porch. But like not last night. Like, what's that about? What? Literally 4 a.m. Literally at his house. Didn't pull a move. I guess that's fine. Whatever.
I've seen multiple people post on like TikTok talking about how it's not appropriate to wear, it's women mostly, talking about how it's not appropriate to wear a bodycon dress to work when you're a teacher. And people are in the comments like, well, you're policing women's bodies. No, there's a time and a place to wear a bodycon dress, and I don't think the time is working with children. It's not because you, like, okay, cool, you can't leave your ass at home, but you can leave that dress at home. You can.
Okay, you already know what time it is. It's time for my husband to come home, so I need to go and like reset my house, reset myself, and get ready for his arrival. I'm on a bit of a time crunch today, but I still want to make sure that I look nice for my husband and that the house looks nice, so when he comes home, he can just chill. So we're just gonna run a brush through this, maybe throw on a little extra blush, some like extra perfume, and then we will be ready for him to come home. Like I said yesterday, the extra blush makes us look like we're not dead inside, because we're not. Never actually asked my husband if he appreciates this or if he expects it or anything. It just makes me feel nice, and I think that's important that like I feel my best so that I can like run my family the best. Alright, now that we're looking better, feeling better, let's go see what needs to be done around here. You already know his thing about windows, so let's shut those first thing. I wonder if he watches these and he's like, I knew you left the windows open all day. Kids' room is mostly fine. We just need to tuck these blankets back under. Also, while I'm up here, I'm just gonna go ahead and lay out school clothes for tomorrow and pajamas for tonight. Okay, we have school clothes for tomorrow. We have jammies for tonight. Just got a text from hubby that he's on his way home, so let's like real quick figure our stuff out. I really should vacuum up here because I really like the lines, and also my kids were eating snacks up here, so it'd be really nice to vacuum, but let's see if we have time. Turn the fan on because you know he likes that. Okay, let's head downstairs because I know downstairs is kind of a problem area. Okay, all we have down here is a blanket, a couple toys. His charger for his PlayStation remote is out because I like to charge it before he gets home so that he has it to use. So let's just fix and flip. fall is not supposed to live in my house. Okay, let's head to the kitchen, see what's in there that might need cleaned up. I have some laundry I need to fold, but I don't think I have the time for it, so I think I'd rather vacuum, so let's go ahead and do that. As usual, let's hit our high traffic point areas. Okay, he's running a little late, which is actually perfect, so I either have time to fold that load of laundry or to pack school lunches. And I'm leaning more towards laundry because I'm trying to hit that goal of 1 load of laundry a day, and that's washing, drying, and folding. So let's go fold the laundry. All right, let's make this quick. All right, that was easy. Let's put it away. Okay, I'm back. That was easy. I have time to do school lunches, so let's do that. I have to do 2 school lunches this year, and that's a lot of food, and I just don't even know what I'm gonna put in these. I'm so not creative when it comes to this, so give me all of your recommendations for school lunches down below. I'm gonna start off really easy with just strawberries. I feel like getting the fruit out of the way is like the easiest thing I could possibly do. Giving them both Dots pretzels. I'm gonna do chicken nuggets as like a main for both of them for tomorrow, but I still have another part of the bento box to fill, so I'm gonna do some carrots and some ham. And I know that's like a weird choice, but I know that they're gonna eat both of those, so we're getting weird. All right, that's what we're looking like here. I think that's gonna be just fine, especially with the chicken nuggets. I have to get snack ready for my oldest. My youngest doesn't do snack, which I hate, but that it is what it is. Okay, hubby's back. I was kind of in the middle of something, which I hate doing. I hate being in the middle of something when he comes home, but let's be ready to greet him.
And you know, you still have women in the comments hating on this. God forbid a woman love her husband.
It's so funny to me how the women who are like, I don't accept coffee dates. Coffee dates aren't for me. That's just beneath me. I mean, you can accept coffee dates. If you want a coffee date, go ahead and go on your coffee date. I'm not going on a coffee date. Y'all can keep talking about coffee dates. It's funny that those women that keep making these videos are the only ones talking about coffee dates. Every time this conversation comes up, it's those type of women. It's always a woman who wants to flex that she turned down a man. She wants to flex that she doesn't drink coffee. That's the only people I ever see talking about coffee dates. The women that are actually going on coffee dates aren't making the videos about it. And if you want to tell your experience about your coffee dates, that's fine. But we don't need the rebuttals of, oh, I don't do coffee dates. We don't need that.
A woman in the comments said, thank you. As a person who likes coffee dates, this is starting to feel like a one-sided discussion. As are most of the discussions by these modern women. Remember the male loneliness epidemic? Who's talking about that? Who?
I've said this numerous of times, and it's always rang true. A lot of women today don't know how to date. And this is why they go through a revolving door of men after men after men, and then all. And I say that to say because I see the discussion around having a coffee date. And women saying, that's not for me, that's low effort, that's low this, low that, that's what you did. I don't care what y'all talking about. The lady that recently sparked that coffee date conversation, because these are discussions that's been had for a long time, she'd be lucky if anybody asked her for directions. She'd be lucky if anybody asked her for directions. But now you don't do coffee dates. Now, I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying a lot of y'all don't know how to date. There's this romanticized idea of how much money he needs to spend, where he needs to take you, all these things to legitimize it as a date, opposed to looking at it as, okay, it's low pressure, you're safe, because most of the time a coffee date would be during the daytime, low expectations, he can't expect nothing from you, you sure can't expect nothing from him. You're not committed to getting dressed and putting on your finest and doing all the things, the full theater that you would do if it's a dinner date. It's a nice icebreaker. It's simple, right? And through the coffee date, he could get to figure out if he like you. You could get to figure out if you like him, and it could go anywhere or it could go nowhere, right? Opposed to committing. How many times, ladies, the ones that are dating, how many times have you gone on a date with a man and realized quickly he's an idiot, but you already committed the outfit, you already committed the night, you already committed yourself to this date, so now you gotta go through it, and now you suffering through that shit. Like, let's be real. Like, I don't get it. I remember when I worked downtown Brooklyn when I lived in New York, And if you know downtown Brooklyn, you know there's the fire chief department over there. There's City College. There's all the courts. There's a Chase head office over there. There's Con Edison. There's all types of, major companies that is there. So you could be walking to the halal spot to get a gyro or something, and you talking to a judge, or you talking to a lawyer, or you talking to a doctor, because there's a bunch of medical centers down there too. This person is in charge of the NICU or something. Like, you never know. And I've seen people on cute, coffee date, whether it's at Panera Bread or wherever. And I don't know, because I know because of the environment, she's probably making good money and he's probably making good money. Both of these people are on a coffee date, whether it's during their lunch break or after work. Like, once again, I'm seeing single women telling other single women not to take coffee dates, and men cosplaying as women telling other single women not to take coffee dates. I'm so glad I'm not in this dating pool. I'm so glad I'm out of this. And strategically, I've always dated with a purpose. I wasn't in the pool very long anyway, but to say no to a coffee date, especially if you can gauge the pedigree of the man, whew.
Last video of the day. Why is it that men approach you, talk to you, flirt with you, whatever, when you look like this? But whenever I'm done up, I actually have makeup on, I actually tried on my hair, I did something to look good and feel confident, nothing. Crickets. Why? Why are you the way that you are?
I mean, either or.
I just saw a post on the other app that said, I be seeing fine ass men on TikTok. And then I remember the men I like would never make a TikTok. She ate with that one. She did. Because I be seeing some fine men over here. It's this one in particular that has just been popping up on my FYP. And then I think, but you sat your phone down and recorded that in like a thirst trappy way. And I would never. I would never. You are for somebody else, but would never be for me. I could never date a man who was propping up his phone with a tripod. Even if you ain't propping, even if you just sitting it down, I'm cool. I don't want it. I don't want it at all. And again, if you are that man who is propping down your phone and making TikToks, more power to you. You probably get into a bag. I love that for you. And you probably have a woman who loves you. That's not the type of man I would never, ever want to date.
But y'all still be in the comments though, so.
My boyfriend asked me the other day, can you please just tell me when you're having feelings so I don't have to ask you 4 or 5 times, are you okay? And you're just saying fine 4 or 5 times before you tell me what is actually wrong with you. And I looked him dead in the face. I started crying and I said, I can't. I don't know how to do this. And I need you to know that, because I can't. I need you to ask me 8 times. I understand your patience is growing thin and this is actually terrible behavior. I shouldn't be dishonest and I shouldn't have to make you ask 8 times. But I said, I can't do it. And you know what he said? He said, that's okay. We'll keep trying.
This is what modern women want out of a man. Somebody to continue to babysit them. This is why they need the effective communication. Because they don't have effective communication themselves. They want to continue to waste your time, your energy, and your resources. They want you to sit there for an hour asking what's wrong, when they could have just told you in the first place. And if I were to be fair about it, I can understand that if a woman is driven more emotionally, then those emotions to her are going to feel stronger. And so when she gets upset or sad or whatever it is, that's going to linger more than it would a man, theoretically speaking, with the way that they say it. If a man is more logical, then he's going to be able to think through it and say, I'm upset, I'm hurt, I'm angry about this, but the show must go on. Most times. I mean, he's still going to be upset, he's still going to be hurt, he's still going to be angry, he's still going to need to process those emotions. But for a woman, modern women specifically, a lot of them have not really learned how to discipline themselves and really control their emotions. So it's going to take them at least a few hours to get over the current state of the emotion. That's why they want you to keep on coming back and asking them, because maybe in an hour and maybe a burrito from Chipotle is going to improve their mood.
Coffee dates suck, okay? Coffee dates suck, I said it. Now, I do not doubt that there is a very, very small percentage of women who actually like coffee dates. You know, maybe you like coffee, it's cozy, it's cute, that's really your vibe, like you like the library or something like that, I get it. But for the most part, women are choosing coffee dates because it's safe. Most women, okay, love romance. Now, unless you met at a coffee shop and you guys' hands touched the latte at the same time and he stared into your eyes like a Hallmark movie, the coffee shop is just not that eventful. It's not that romantic. A lot of women, if you knew that that man was going to be the man that loved you, put you first, valued you, treated you well, was everything that you wanted, could sweep you off your feet, love you like you've never been loved, give you the fun and the adventure and all the feelings that you wanted, if you knew that, you would not be choosing coffee for a first date. You would be doing something totally romantic and blissful or just really fun and stimulated with that man. Now, I talked about this before. I said for a first date as a coach, this is just based off of my clients and their success rate. I said the best first dates are interactive dates. I already said that in the previous video, okay? So I said sipping paints, Top Golf, go-karting, pottery class, wine making class, pizza making classes. Those things make for great first dates. But majority of women don't want coffee. Coffee is for like meetings, okay? Maybe a business meeting, work meeting, maybe you're an entrepreneur, meeting clients. So let's stop this, okay? Let me know, what do you think? I want to know what the happily married women think. Have you had coffee for a first date and now you with 3 kids in and you're happily ever after and it's been years? Where are you at? I could be wrong, but I'm going to say majority of women, okay? I'm going to say majority of women do not want coffee on the first date. You're just doing it because it's safe and you're tired and you don't want to get your feelings hurt.
Here is Mrs. Brittany Gold, who says, you're correct, but I think that's the issue. We expect romance from a stranger. Being swept up off your feet by a man you don't know without decrement is not safe. As you said, the point is to date to get to know a man. Just my opinion. She's one of the ladies that I included in the dating coach mashup. She's got a lot of good things to say. Miss Brittany Gold. Another woman says, married woman here. My first date was at our apartment complex pool room. We shot pool and talked. We went out on a real date the next day and been together ever since. Coffee date is more of a casual meetup and a good way to gauge if you want to move forward and do a real date or not. Sometimes letting people talk is a good way to gauge their intentions. Exactly. This is what I keep on saying. They're not disrespecting you by taking you on a coffee date. They're just trying to get to know you. They're trying to get to feel you out. It's an introduction. Stop trying to think that people are getting over on you.
It be the black women who know that they got limited options with men that always want to try to make a man look like you are overweight and you're a solid 3. The audacity of you. Now, we all know that lady who went viral about talking about some man invited her on a coffee date and she told him no, and she went to go get her a sandwich, a soup, and a croissant, and a Dr. Pepper. You lucky you got asked out on a date. Chivalry is dead nowadays. And you really go try to make this man look crazy for asking you on a coffee date because you don't like coffee? Clearly, you like everything that's unhealthy for your ass. And I'm going to touch on every aspect of the situation because y'all got me up and I'm vexed. And y'all know me, I'm quick to call everybody out on their shit. I don't give a fuck. You can't whoop me. But your hungry ass should have just said that you was hungry. But no, your big, insecure, overweight ass decided to sit your phone down while your fat ass was eating and press record and talking about how the man was asking you on a coffee date and you politely told him no. And then everybody over here defending you talking about, oh, well, she been told him that she didn't like coffee and he kept asking her to go on coffee dates. Okay, you be the same but don't want to be talked to in the store. But yeah, you talking and you know that ain't giving you the conversation that you want. And then you want to complain. What sense do that make? You be your own fucking enemy. And it's plain as day. Now, would he have been wrong if he would have took her on a date to the goddamn gym? I don't think so. I think that's actually beneficial for her and him. The man clearly just wanted to get to know your ass by asking you out for coffee. If you lucky you got asked out on a date, you just ungrateful. Y'all be the same women that be like, oh, if he talked to me in a grocery store, he better offer to pay for my groceries, or what do we have to talk about? The men don't know you. Y'all be wanting men to do for y'all just because you got a coochie. Bitch, fuck you. Not only that, I saw somebody else stitch my homegirl video on this topic talking about, I think we should take people's stories on TikTok with a grain of salt because people be telling stories just to get paid. So y'all exploiting yourselves and embarrassing yourselves and other people who may or may not exist for $1 that you may or may not get, talking about you're a content creator. Oh yeah. The world is ending, y'all. These women don't know what to do. They don't know how to be women. That Willie Lynch shit is mother, bro. All that our ancestors had to go through back in the day for slavery and racism and all this shit was for fucking thing. Because look at this shit y'all choose to do, bro. You got black people making other black people look bad. This shit's sick. When do we get it together, bro? Cause calling y'all out, y'all making it seem like I'm doing something wrong. No, I'm trying to hold everybody accountable here. Because once we all take accountability, can't nobody take from us, bro. But like that, and there are some men like that, but there's more women like that in this world because you've been just so fucking miserable. And then y'all sit here and make it seem like all black men act like that. No, because if all black men act like that, all black women act like that, and that's not true. Some of us really out here doing what it takes to be better people, doing what it takes to really be at peace and be successful and be happy and love healthily. You know what I'm saying? Y'all weird, and that pisses me off. All of this because he asked to take you on a coffee date. All of this because of a coffee date. He shouldn't have asked your ass to go nowhere. He shouldn't even spoke to your ass. Y'all better be mindful who y'all be speaking to. I see why fellas don't talk to y'all. I see why they don't speak to y'all. That's why women like me shoot my shot. Because like y'all, they be shooting their shots and then y'all do like that. Like, I can't stand you, dog. I'm allergic. I am literally deadly allergic to you. Please stay the fuck away from my black men before I have to fuck y'all up. Okay?
And what's funny to me is that there was a dude that they considered chopped who made this same type of video. And they was all in his comments telling him he should take what he can get. There was even a dude that stitched his video and told him he should take whatever he can get. But when a man says it, it's a problem and he should be humble. When a woman says it, then she don't need to be lowering her standards.
So one of our last posts asked a question to the ladies. What are some of the social cues that are being given to let a man know that you are approachable or you're interested? Many women are on here saying, I give eye contact and a smile, right? But then guys, y'all got on here and said, no, that's not it. That's not how this works. You can't, you can't tell the women that what they're doing to tell you that they're approachable is not right if it's what they doing. That's like when guys say, I like natural hair, natural bodies, natural all these things, and then the women turns around and say, no, you don't. You like the BBLs and all of this other stuff. You can't just say that, no, that's not it. You can say that that's not working for me.
I think what the men were saying was you got to do more than that. That's what I was getting from them.
That's not what I took from that.
And I'm not saying that they're right or they're wrong. But the thing is, eye contact and smiling, that's kind of something you do anyway.
Flirty smile.
Do you not? But is it a flirty smile? Because they didn't say that we're giving flirty smiles. We are giving eye contact and a smile, and some just said eye contact. But see, one of the comments said that they would talk to the man and do all these things, and I think that's what a lot of the men were saying. You know what I'm saying? Just speak at least. You know, if you speak, because I think a lot of men, and they're probably going to disagree with me about this, but I think a lot of men suffer from self-esteem issues. A lot of men, I don't think that they think that they're going to be good enough just themselves to go up to a woman and talk to her without a surefire way to know that you are giving him a cue that it is okay for him to be able to come and talk to you. And that can be from a number of different things. It could be fear, you know what I'm saying? Could just be whatever you see on the internet. And we've said this before, but in these situations, I think, so obviously I'm married, right? So I'm not even looking at anything like that. But my thing is, back in the day, if it was me, a dude like me would have been like, I don't think you looking at me. I think you looking at somebody next to me, behind me, or even if you did come up and speak, dude like me would think it's a scam. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of dudes probably fall into that type of category, because The question becomes now, as the man, should I think that every woman that looks at me wants to talk to me if she is giving a nice nod or a smile or she looks my way? I mean, what if she's just being nice?
No, because I smile
Exactly.
and make eye contact with everyone and say hi. But there is the smile and the eye contact. There is more behind it. There's a flirtiness in it, typically.
What is it? Now I've seen.
And then there's the look and look away, and y'all keep catching each other kind of thing. Like there's more science behind it than just smile, how you doing, good morning kind of deal.
What's the science?
I don't know what the science is. I just use science. That was just the word that popped into my head.
I think because then the question becomes, let's say you're trying to make eye contact and you think he's making eye contact with you, but he's actually looking past you. He's not even paying any attention to you. And it's not that he doesn't find you attractive or he wouldn't find you attractive. He's just not paying attention. What if he's got his mind on something else? You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I stand by women. There's nothing wrong with you approaching the dude. What I would like to know is for the women who are not going to approach the dude and for the men who would prefer to do the approaching, what is it that we're looking for? Men, what are you looking for to know that the window is open?
The men have expressed that though. They're saying that starting a conversation. If you're out as a woman and there's a guy that you find attractive, right? And you just spark up a random conversation and you're giving the eye contact and you're smiling.
Is that not considered approaching though?
Who, the woman?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm talking to the men who want to initiate.
Yeah, I guess you would look at it like that. But see, in my mind, when I think about approaching, I mean, I think about it in a way where the man is going there solely to talk to the woman and get her number. Because most of the time, the men, they don't have the art of the approach or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They don't go in there and start talking about random stuff. They go in there, hey, you look very beautiful. You look very nice. I would like to take you out. Can I have your phone number? That's how men are approaching women. But I don't think, let's say you're in the store and the man is walking around the store and I don't know, he has some type of food in his hand and a woman walks up to him and sparks up a conversation about, hey, so where did you get that? Blah, 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 blah. You know, I don't see that as necessarily being an approach because in that particular situation, the man still doesn't really know if she's doing that to ask a genuine question because she really want to know where you got this tofu from.
Because I would ask.
See? And you married, and then what if he takes that? He's just like, "Hey, can I get your number? You know, you stopped me."
Just want to know where you got your apples from.
You see, it's a bunch of confusion, and then you have a lot of people in the comments, like a few men, they're just like, man, just go up and talk to her. You'll know in a few minutes whether or not she like you. Or men are weak because they won't approach women. I mean, you call it whatever you want to. Signals get crossed all the time, though.
Absolutely. That's why we just sparking the conversation. This is just an open dialogue.
Well, it's an open dialogue, but the problem is a lot of people that need to be answering this question are looking at this video and passing it by and not answering the question.
And most men are going to say the usual. Just because you smile and give eye contact doesn't mean that you like me. That might mean that you're a nice person. And that's what a lot of women say. Well, I wasn't even looking in your direction. I don't even know why you're in my face. There's another woman that says, girl, if you buy him a drink, he will be like, let's get married today. Exactly. Because now I know for sure that you're into me. You start spending money on me because the band is usually the one spending money. So if you decide to break me off a little something, now I know for sure that you're into me.
All right, here's the update of the blind date I went on last night and why it made me wish I would have just stayed home and been bored by myself. You guys hear the thunder? That's fitting. I'm not a picky eater. I told him that. He knew what part of town I lived in. I was just kind of waiting for him to tell me where. I was going to be ready by the time we said we were going to go, and that would be that. I start doing my makeup. All right? I don't check my text messages until I finish my makeup and I'm about to start on my hair. I go to check my text messages and I have a text from him that says, you might hate on me for this, but I'm kind of craving Olive Garden. We can go someplace nicer if you want, but it just sounds really good. I had already done my makeup, so I'm just like, whatever, let's go to Olive Garden. Let me clarify. I am not expecting a man that is taking me on a dinner date. If he proposes a dinner date, I am not expecting him to take me to a 5-star restaurant and drop a band on me. I'm not saying the food has to be expensive. I can name you 5 local bar and grills within 10 minutes of my place that we could have gone that would have had better food and honestly had at least the same prices of Olive Garden, if not cheaper. So it is not about the money. It is genuinely about the atmosphere as well, because It's an Olive Garden. We sat right behind a 15 top of a full family function, screaming, crying, bad as hell kids. With all of this in mind is that the reason he tried to cancel and reschedule the date we were supposed to have last night was because he was so tired and he didn't want to be a zombie on the first date and for me to have a bad first impression of him. Okay, so you decide to insist on still taking me out on Monday night and make a good impression by taking me to an Olive Garden? Food at Olive Garden isn't that bad, that's not what I'm saying. But if we want to make it about food, my friend invited me to get dinner with her and some other friends at Pep and Dolores, which if you're not from the area, is like my favorite wine and pasta combo ever. That's where I could have been, but I didn't want to have to reschedule the date that I had already rescheduled from Sunday night, making it Monday night. I don't want to have to ask to reschedule again. So I said no to Pep and Dolores, and I instead waited to be taken to Olive Garden. So yeah, I'm a little pissed off right now. Date's over. We're walking out to our cars, okay? And as we're walking out, he sees across the street the Smoothie King. Yep, just another example of what kind of atmosphere this Olive Garden is in, all right? He sees the Smoothie King. He goes, have you ever had Smoothie King? I say, yeah, I've had it a couple times. He goes, oh yeah, have you ever had Tropical Cafe or something? I don't know, something like that? And I go, no, I haven't. He goes, oh, it's really good. It's way better. Maybe for our second date, we could go there. Or we could go to the movies. You're 27. You are 27. You just took me on a first date to Olive Garden, and your suggestions for the second date is either a smoothie joint or the movie theater? I'm going to say it again in case you didn't hear me the first time. He's 27. Yeah, I got the fuck out of there with my leftover fettuccine alfredo, all right? And I went home. And then what did I do once I got home? Pissed, by the way. I'm pissed. I get on Hinge. I decide I want to look at my ex-Hinge boyfriend's profile again. I miss him. Sorry, because if I didn't miss him before, I sure as do now. So I get on his profile, and then I'm thinking about again how he had time. He had time to update his entire profile, pictures, his prompts, what he's looking for, all this other. He had time to do all of that, to meet other women and talk to them, but he didn't have time to have decent communication with me or spend time with me, and he was making a big old fuss about how busy he is. You got time for all that? Oh, and yeah, I know that means he just doesn't fuck with me, but guess what? That pisses me off more, the fact that he doesn't fuck with me, because what the fuck do you mean? What do you mean you don't fuck with me? Don't answer that. Actually doesn't need an answer because there's no logical answer. Thank you. If that wasn't enough to piss me off, what do I do after that? I decide to go through my Hinge likes. Yep. Taylor's all the time. That'll piss me off absolutely any day, 10 times out of 10. I go through it. It does piss me off for all the usual reasons, but then guess what I see? I see a man has liked me that I have already had an absolutely diabolical experience with. IRL, in person, didn't meet him on Hinge. He likes me on Hinge. What? You have my phone number. What makes you think that if I haven't responded to your text messages, I'm going to now want to talk to you because you liked me on Hinge? No, I don't want to talk to you. I don't. So thank you. You just pissed me off even more. Anyways, I revisited Hinge this afternoon, and I actually did find a couple good potential new boyfriends in the mix. Of course, I'll let you guys know how it goes, but I really miss my ex-Hinge boyfriend.
Melanie said, you aren't the right person for him. He needs to keep looking. Another woman said, sorry, but you sound like such a mean girl. Another person said, what about actual important stuff? Was he nice? Was he funny? Was he respectful? Was he attractive? Did you have good conversations? All of this matters way more than Olive Garden. Another woman says, I think you're being a little judgmental. Another woman says, what's wrong with Olive Garden? Another woman says, so you didn't say no to this date, though you didn't want to go. Then you didn't say no and offer a different place when he casually mentioned Olive Garden. Sounds like you need to work on your communication skills. This is a you issue, not a him issue. I am going to go ahead and like. But I'll go ahead and like that comment. This is exactly what men talk about. Women wasting their time. Women keep on talking about, well, I want a man that's able to communicate effectively. And then this is what you get from it. Women are never happy. What's wrong with Olive Garden? Nothing. Hey, would you go on a date to Olive Garden? Would you go on a date to Olive Garden? Would you go on a date to Olive Garden? As a first date, would you be upset about it? Exactly. We'd go on a first date and a date. Stupid.
How you doing, my sister? Black Queen. My name is Elgin Bokare Thotmas Smith. That's Thotmas like the god of thinking. Thank you very much. So nice to meet you. Oh, and I'm 38 years old.
Okay, nice to meet you. Can you please tell us why you popped your balloon?
Well, even though I'm a firm believer in black queens forever and snow bunnies never, but I am certainly trying to build an empire, and that is very much hard to do when you have a young lady with a name that sounds like it comes from the Caucasus Mountains.
What is he up to?